So yeah, so yes, last time we ended with this particular verse that how the 16th incarnation of the Godhead, the Lord, as Bhrugupati annihilated the administrative class, Kshatriyas 21 times. Okay. He angry with them because of the rebellion against the Brahmana, the intelligent class. So we ended with this one. That's the story of Parsuram. So we'll begin with this verse today, verse number 21. शेर से तथा सप्तदशे जाता सतीवत्याम परासरात् चक्रे वेदतरो शाखा दृष्ट्वा पुरुषो अधोमेधसा. She says, thereafter in the 70th incarnation, Godhead Sri Vyasadeva appeared in the womb of Satyavati to Parasarani. And he divided one Veda into several branches, sub-branches, seeing that people in general were less intelligent. So basically, next two chapters, chapter number 4, chapter number 5, and chapter number 6, will discuss about Vyasadeva. So why Vyasadeva? Basically, there was only one Veda that was divided in four Veda, and later on Vyasadeva wrote various Veda and Vedantas, and Puranas. He wrote 18 Puranas, then he wrote Brahma Sutra, but still he was not happy. Okay. So all those things we'll discuss in next two chapters. But just to have a history that before Satyavati married to Santanu, so you know the story how Satyavati married to Santanu. Of course, that okay. So one day, the Satyavati was the daughter of Navi, the boatman. Then one day he was either her father or she was sailing the boat. So one day when she was sailing the boat, king came, King Santanu came and was sitting there. He was enchanted by the charming beauty of Satyavati. So finally, you know, Santanu wanted to marry with Satyavati. But when Santanu approached to her father for marriage, so her father said that there are some astrologers said that her son will become a king. And finally, that boatman told whom uh, is Santanu that you have already elder son, Devrat. So what is the guarantee that So anyway, if she marries to you, then her son will not become king. So that way, he denied, saying that her children will become king. So then, after hearing this thing, of course, that Santanu was so much love, has so much love for Vishnu Pitama. Sorry, at that time he was a Devrat. So he didn't wanted that his rightful claim will be taken away. So Santanu was become little bit morose and he was not so much coming out after hearing all this story. So that was how Santanu, sorry. And one day, before Satyavati got married with Santanu, so one day she was sailing the boat, and suddenly, very great personality appeared in her boat, and that was Parasar Muni. And Parasar Muni said that, Parasar Muni impregnated by his divine power, not by, physical contact with her, but divine power. And that way, so she was afraid that how it can be possible. So Parasar Muni said that don't worry, our son will become a great personality in future and he will be the cause of the Vedic division, so division of the Vedic scripture. So that way, and she will remain virgin. So that's how Vedas took a birth. Okay. So later on, that Satyavati gets this was happened before Satyavati got married to Santanu. One day, Devrat came to know about Santanu that he was disliking that Satyavati, but he could not marry. Her father was not ready to give her hand to Santanu. So at that time, and Devrat approached the father of Satyavati. So father of Satyavati said that how can I let her marry with Santanu, that you are already going to be king. At that time, Vishnu Pitama says, okay, I'll take a vow that I'll never become a king of Hastinapur. I'll be just servant of the king of Hastinapur. Whoever will be the son of Santanu, whoever will be the king of Hastinapur, I'll be the servant. So then he said, but no, what about your children? Your elder son, in future you may get married and your son will come and he may have to claim the throne and become a business. Sorry, that Devrat said that, okay, I take another vow that I will be lifelong brahmachari, I'll be lifelong celibate, I'll never marry. That was the two vows made Devrat. And this Pratika was considered as a Bhisma. That's why he came to know as a Bhisma Pitama. So of course, the Vyasdev was not ordinary personality. He was the son of Satyavati. So okay, so basically he divided the Veda. So every Dwapar Yuga, in the beginning of every Dwapar Yuga, Vyasdev comes and he writes the Veda. He puts the Veda in literary form. Okay, so that he knows that when Kali Yuga is going to come, people will be having a short memory. They will be forgetful. So better to put everything in writing. So there are so many Chaturyuga. In each day of Brahma, there are 1,000 Chaturyuga. So in every Chaturyuga, Vyasdev appears. So Vyasdev is the post. Vyasdev is post. Okay. So the personality keeps changing. So before Vyasdev, Krishna Dyopan Vyas. So presently, who is the Vyasdev? Krishna Dyopan is the Vyasdev. So earlier, before the previous Chaturyuga, who was the Vyasdev? Parasar Muni was the Vyasdev. So every Chaturyuga, Vyasdev keeps changing. Okay. So in the next Chaturyuga, who is going to be Vyasdev? Aswathama is going to be Vyasdev. So basically, he wrote all those things. Okay. Vedas and all. Basically, he wrote 4 Vedas, then he wrote of Vedas, Vedangas, then Puranas, then Ityasa, then Vedanta Sutra. So that he wrote everything. And of course, by the mercy of Ved Vyas, Sanjay can see the talk between Lord Krishna and Arjuna. So that is the history of Vyasadev. And Vyasadev is still present. If you go Badrikashram, so there is the Badri Vishal Bhagavan. So if you go much more higher distance, where this ordinary person cannot go, so Ved Vyas is still alive. Okay. So then the next verse he says, Naradeva Tvam Apannaha Surakarya Chikirsaya Samudra Nigraha Dini Chakre Viryani. Yet Param says that in the 18th incarnation, the Lord appeared as a King Rama. So in order to perform some pleasing work for the demigods, he exhibited the superhuman power by controlling the Indian Ocean in the killing the atheist king Ravana, who was on the other side of the sea. So this is the Leela of Lord Ramchandra. So Lord Ramchandra was known as Maryada Purushottam. But in the later verses, we come to know Krishna is the Purna Purushottam. He did everything. Okay. So whole story, right? How Lord Ramchandra took birth through the King Dashrath and Kausalya. So that story is known to everyone, so I'm not going to discuss. But of course, Sukhdev Goswami will discuss this uh, story in brief in Canto 9. Then he says, Ekanvi se visati me Rusmitu prapya janmani Rama Krishna viti bhuva Bhagwan harat param. He says that in the 19th and 20th incarnation, Lord advented himself as a Lord Balram and Lord Krishna in the family of Rishmi, the Yadu dynasty. By so doing, he removed the burden of the world. This whole Bhagavad Gita, what we discuss, okay, we are aware. And the subsequent, chapter number 8, chapter number 7, chapter number 8, chapter number 9, Then after that, 10, 11, 12. So we are going to hear some of Krishna's pastime before we enter to the 10th canto, then 11th canto. So whole 10th canto is dedicated to Lord Krishna. And of course, the last few chapters of the 9th canto and 11th canto, almost 20 chapters of the 11th canto are dedicated to Lord Krishna, Uddhav Gita, and all those things. So you can understand that almost out of 335 chapters, almost 150 chapters, around 140 or 150 chapters are dedicated to Lord Krishna. So can you imagine, out of in Bhagavatam there are total 335 chapters, adhyay, and out of them almost around 140 adhyayas are dedicated to Lord Krishna's activity. So you can understand that that's why the verse number 26, sorry, 28, uh, Sutta Goswami is going to tell that whatever incarnation we are discussing right now, Etecha Amsakala Pumsa, whatever previously, whatever incarnation we have discussed, they are plenary portion of the plenary portion or plenary portion of Lord Krishna. But Etecha Amsakala Krishna, Etecha Amsakala Pumsa, Krishna to Bhagwan Swayam. But Krishna is the Bhagwan Swayam. So they are all for plenary portion or the plenary portion of the plenary portion of Lord Krishna. Amso ke ams. Just like, Balram is the Ansa of Lord Krishna. Okay. And when Lord Krishna expanded in 16,108 form to marry with 16,100 fields, at that time it was his direct expansion of Lord Krishna. Then same way when he was performing Ras Leela Pastime, it was a direct expansion. But Balram is the first expansion of Lord Krishna, and Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha are considered as the expansion of Lord Krishna. Means expansion of Lord Krishna is Balram, and expansion of Balram is Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. And of course, from that Sankarshan come again Narayan. So Narayan is the expansion of Lord Krishna. Expansion of the expansion of the expansion of Lord Krishna. So from Narayan again came Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. They are expansion of the expansion of the expansion of the expansion of Lord Krishna. So same way, this Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Sirodakshaya Vishnu, and of course about Ramchandra also similar thing. Okay, so there is another verse in Brahma Samhita. It says Rama Dimurtesu Kala Niyamena Tishdan Nana Avatar Akrodh Bhunesu Kintu Krishna Swayam Sambhama Parma Pumanayo Govindamadi Purusam Tamaham Bhajami. Ram and Adi. Matlab Ram or Adi means Ram, etc. Ram, Nasima, Vara, Vaman, all those Leela Avatar, what we are discussing. Ramadi Murtesu Kala Niyamena Krishna. So they are Amsha, Kala, means Amsha of the Lord Krishna. Okay. They are not some Kala of the Lord Krishna. They hold some Kala of Lord Krishna. Ramadi Murtesu Kala Niyamena Krishna. Nana Avatar Akrodh Bhunesu Kintu. And these are the different incarnations of Lord Krishna. Nana Avatar Akrodh Rama Dimurtesu Kala Niyamena Krishna. Nana Avatar Akrodh Bhunesu Kintu. Krishna Swayam Sambhama. But Krishna is the Swayam personality of Swayam Bhagwan. So that we'll discuss. Okay. So specifically out of 335 chapters, 140 chapters are dedicated to Lord Krishna. So you can understand. So of course, this Bhagavatam is meant to discuss the pastime of Lord Krishna and Balram, specifically Lord Krishna. So I'll not discuss much here. Okay. So then they said that Tata Kalo Sampravrutte Sammohaya Suratvisam Buddho Namna Jana Sutta Kirtesu Bhavishyati. When Bhagavatam was spoken, so Lord Krishna, till now, whatever incarnation we have discussed, they have already taken place. So now, Sutta Goswami is going to discuss about those incarnations. When he was speaking, those incarnations have not happened. But he is going to speak those incarnations which will be happening in the future. So these are the future incarnation of Lord Krishna with respect to when Bhagavatam was spoken. So he said, then in the beginning of the Kali Yuga, the Lord will appear as the Lord Buddha, the son of Anjana in the province of Gaya, just for the purpose of deluding those who are envious of faithful Krishna. So what was the purpose of the appearance of Lord Buddha? That's very simple. So as soon as Lord Krishna disappeared from the world, uh, so we will discuss this thing in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. As soon as Lord Krishna departed, so because of the presence of Lord Krishna, the Kali Yuga was suppressed. But as soon as Lord Krishna departed, the Kali Yuga has started showing its effect. And then later on, Pandava also left this world when Parikshit Maharaj was the king. Okay. So then all, even the Brahmana, that how the Kali Yuga entered when Parikshit Maharaj was ruling. So the son of Brahmana arrogantly cursed the Parikshit Maharaj who was religious king, was devotee king. He was devotee king. And he cursed him that he will die after the 7 days from today onward. So that was the beginning of the Kali Yuga. That was the power of Brahmana. He has a Brahmate. So his word, even that much was the power of the son of Brahmana. Can you imagine? Then what will be the power of Brahmana? If he cursed. So in the future, this Brahmana is going to misuse the Shastra. So in Shastra, sometimes sacrifice are mentioned about Gome Yajna, Aswamedh Yajna. So this Aswamedh Yajna means Aswa was the animal for sacrificing the Yajna. In Gome Yajna, cow was the sacrificial animal for the Yajna. So in the Kali Yuga, what happened that the Brahmana will be considered based on the birth. That was the misunderstanding. So many people nowadays also casteism, they say Brahman ka putra Brahman. That is wrong. That's not right. Kshatriya ka putra Kshatriya hai, Vaishya ka putra Vaishya hai, Shudra ka putra Shudra. No. Doctor ka putra doctor kehlata hai kya? Unless and until he has studied the MBBS and he is practicing it, don't go for any medicine to him, right? Although he may be the son of doctor, we don't say doctor ka putra doctor kehlata hai. No, we don't accept that. Then what? The similar way, Brahman ka putra is not Brahman unless and until he has a guna and karma. That's what Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, verse number 13. That Chaturvarna Maya system, guna karma vibhagasya, jasya kartaram pimamiti akartaram pimamiti. Lord Krishna has created 4 varna, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. So that guna karma, as per the guna and karma. The doctor, yes, of course, he should have that guna of doctor, and he must be acting based as per the guna. Okay, it is not acting. This guna and karma are not like doctor. We don't go for operation or any medicine. When you forget about operation, when we don't approach for general medicine, isn't it? So this so-called Brahmana in the future, they will misuse the Vedic instruction of Gome Yajna, Aswamedh Yajna of animal sacrifice. And in the name of animal sacrifice, they used to kill the animals for their sense gratification, for eating the meat. Okay. So whoever sacrificed, he was allowed to eat the meat. But the purpose of killing the sacrificing the horse or cow was not killing the animal. That was not the purpose. What was the purpose? The purpose was that, okay, whichever animal is being sacrificed in the yajna, that animal, the soul of that animal will be given the higher form of body, just like either human being or demigod. So human being is considered as a higher level of body compared to the animal body. So that was the purpose. So this sacrifice and all those things was used for testing the power of mantra. See, if after killing the animal, sacrificing the animal, if they get human form or maybe demigod form, then the mantra is considered successful. In the Kali Yuga, this kind of yajna is prohibited. Okay. Why? Because you don't find the Brahmana who can properly recite the mantra. That's why it has been prohibited. So in the Kali Yuga, people were misusing all those things, all those statements of the Vedic scripture. So that's why Lord Buddha appeared. And he misguided, sorry, no, what he did? He deluded those who are envious of the faithful priest. So there are so many people who were on the name of sacrifice, on the name of Veda, they were misusing the instruction to delude them. He appeared as a Lord Buddha. He said that, okay, no, Veda is useless, you should not believe in Veda. Don't sacrifice, don't follow Vedic instruction. You should not harm any living entity. So that way, what Lord Buddha said, those who were atheists, okay, so them he deluded. And what he did, instead of having inspiring them to put faith on the Veda, he inspired them to put faith on himself. So who he was Lord Vishnu himself, Satyavesava. That way, indirectly, atheists were have a faith on Lord Buddha. But still, we don't follow the Buddhist philosophy because it was against the Vedic principle. It has rejected the Veda, so we don't follow Buddhist philosophy. Okay, Buddhist is Sunyavad. It is called covered atheism. Of course, it is atheism because you don't accept Veda. Why? Lord Buddha says that why are you killing? You should live peaceful life. After that, there is no life. Before that, there is no life. So it is atheistic philosophy. So Lord Krishna appeared as a Lord Buddha to stop this misuse of the Vedic instructions, especially of Vedic animal sacrifice, and delude those continuous of faithful things. That was his purpose. Okay. So we'll move to next verse. So then he says that Athaso Yuga Sanjayam Dasyasutrayase Rajasu Shamita Vishnu. Yes, Vishnu, yes, so Namna Kali Jagatpati. Thereafter, at the conjunction of the two yugas, the Lord of the creation will take his birth as Kalki incarnation and become the son of Vishnu Yasha. At this time, almost all the rulers of the earth will have degenerated into plunders. So when it is said that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So after the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's almost 500 years past. So since the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the 10,000 years are considered the golden years of Kali Yuga. So after 10,000 years, there will be the a very terrifying Kali Yuga will begin. Now this 10,000 years will be good for practicing devotional service. So please follow the devotional service very strictly. Okay, please don't take a chance to even to go to heavenly planet, because as soon as you go to heavenly planet, what will happen? If let's say you enter in the moon planet, so there 15 days is equal to 15 earthly days is equal to 1 day of moon. So you will miss the 15,000 साल तो ऐसे निकल जाएंगे before you come back on the earth. So at that time the Kali Yuga will be terrifying. Kali Yuga would be there. So why to take a risk? Even if you go to heavenly planet, let's say you are living 100 years, so 36,000 years, so you'll be in the Ghor Kali Yuga. Then better you don't take a chance even going to heavenly planet or anywhere else. Better to get rid of from this material world and enter to the Golok or Vrindavan by performing a devotional service. So Kalki Bhagwan is going to come at the end of conjuncture of two yugas. So it's the Kali Yuga, end of Kali Yuga and beginning of Satyuga. That will be the conjecture. So here is another foretelling of the advent of Lord Kalki, the incarnation of Godhead, is to appear at the conjunction of the yugas, namely end of the Kali Yuga and beginning of the Satyuga. The cycle of the four yugas, namely Satyuga, Treta, Dwapar, and Kali, rotates like a calendar month. So they rotate. So similarly, there is a 1,000 Satyuga in the 1 day of Brahma, and similar 1,000 Satyuga in the 1 night of Brahma. The present Kali Yuga lasts 4,32,000 years, out of which we have passed 5,000 years after the battle of Kurukshetra and end of the regime of King Parikshit. So there are 4,20,000 years balance yet to be finished. तो अभी भी कलयुग में 4,27,000 बाकी है. Therefore, at the end of this period, the incarnation of Kalki will take place as foretold in Srimad Bhagavatam. The name of his father Vishnu Yasa, a learned Brahmana, and the village Shambhala are also mentioned. Okay, as above mentioned, all the foretelling will prove to be factual in the chronological order. That is the authority of Srimad Bhagavatam. Who is speaking the Srimad Bhagavatam? Sut Goswami and one Sukdev Goswami. They are Siddha, they are Nitya Mukta. So whatever they say, they are Trikal Jnani. They know what had happened in the past, what is going to happen in the future, and what is happening now. So their words will not go in vain. Okay. In the next verse, it says that Avatara hi asankhyeya hare sattva nivyartvijo yatha vidasina tulya sarasasyu sahasrasa. O Brahman, the incarnations of the Lord are innumerable, like rivulets flowing from the inexhaustible source of water. There are so many incarnations, you cannot count them. Then what is the given? Why all those things are given? These are the just prominent incarnations. These are just prominent incarnations. There are so many incarnations, you cannot count them at all. Just for the reference, I'll tell you. Verse number 5. Here is written. Okay. We have seen different incarnations of Lord Krishna, which are those Manvantar avatars, Yuga avatars, Guna avatars, Purusa avatars, Lila avatar, and Satyavasa avatar. The next incarnation are the Manus. Within 1 day's duration of the life of Brahma, how many Manus are there? 14 Manus are there. So in each Manu, there is one Manvantar incarnation. Okay. So there are 14 Manus. And therefore, there are 420 Manus in 1 month of Brahma. So 14 Manus in 1 day of Brahma. So there are 30 days made 1 month of Brahma. So there are 420 Manus in the month of Brahma. And 5040 Manus in 1 year of Brahma. 5040 Manu hai. Okay, and each Manu there is one incarnation, one Manvantar incarnation. The Brahma lives for 100 years of this age. And therefore, there are 5,014 to 100, 5 lakh 4,000 Manu in the duration of the Brahma's life. तो कितना है? मिनिमम 5,04,000 मनु तो आते ही, मनवंतर अवतार तो आते ही आते हैं ब्रह्मा के जीवन में. There are innumerable universe, and there are such an innumerable universe. This we spoke about one universe, but there are innumerable universe. So can you imagine how many incarnations will be there even just for Manvantar incarnation? So 5,44,000 into innumerable. Can you imagine? Okay. So there are innumerable universe with one Brahma in each object. In each universe there is one Brahma. And all of them are created and annihilated during the breathing time of Purusa avatar. So each Brahma lives for 100 years. So there are innumerable Brahma. Can you imagine? So how many Manvantar avatars are there? Therefore, one can simply imagine how many millions of Manus there are during one breath of Purusa. So many Manus are there, so many incarnations are there. But just some prominent incarnation of the Lord Krishna mentioned. Okay. So this is what is written. So all the incarnation of the Lord are mentioned in the revealed scripture. There is no scope for the impostor to become an incarnation. For incarnation must be mentioned in the शास्त्र. हम किसी को भगवान के रूप में नहीं ले सकते जब तक शास्त्रों में उसका वर्णन नहीं किया गया है. No, sometimes we accept so many Babas as a God. No, they are not God unless and until it is mentioned in the scripture. An incarnation does not declare himself to be an incarnation of the Lord, but great sage agree by the symptoms mentioned in the scripture. feature of the incarnation and particular type of mission which he has to execute are mentioned in the revealed scripture. So apart from direct incarnation, there are innumerable empowered incarnations. There are so many innumerable empowered incarnations. They are also mentioned in the revealed scripture. Such incarnations are directly as well as indirectly empowered. When they are directly empowered, they are called incarnation, or when they are indirectly empowered, they are called vibhuti. Okay. So the directly empowered incarnation are Kumaras, Narada, Pruthu, Sesa, Ananta, etc. As far as vibhutis are concerned, they are very explicitly described in Bhagavad Gita. Vibhuti. So there are so many incarnations of Lord Krishna. Okay. These prominent incarnations are mentioned here. There are so many are there. It's very difficult to count. Just imagine there are 5,04,000 Manus in one day of, sorry, one Brahma's life. There are innumerable Brahma. Can you imagine how many Manus are there? So how many Manvantar incarnations are there? So only prominent incarnations are mentioned. It's impossible to count. It is said someone may count the particles on the earth. No, it's impossible. Someone may try to count and he may be successful, but it's impossible to count the number of incarnations. It's a number of incarnations of the Supreme Lord. It's impossible. So, in the next verse, it is said that Rusayo Manavo Deva Manu Putra Mahojasa Kala Sarve Hare Reve Sa Prajapathaya Smruta. All the rishis, Manus, demigods, and descendants of the Manu who are specially powerful are plenary portion of the Lord. This is also includes the Prajapati. So these are those who are comparatively in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So this is these are the various incarnations of Lord Krishna mentioned. So it's very difficult. There are so many incarnations. कितने को लिखूंगा अगर हम यहाँ पे 18 volume Bhagavatam is there, we are not able to read. So now can you imagine if they describe about 5,04,000 Manus, कितनी incarnation के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. So these are just Manvantar incarnation. There are different Satyavis avatar, there are different three Guna avatars. So how many incarnations about you will read? It's difficult. पहले तो एक भगवत गीता नहीं पढ़ पाते हम, कृष्णा बुक पढ़ना मुश्किल हो जाता है, भागवतम पढ़ना मुश्किल हो जाता है. 5,00,000 4,000 मनवंतर इनकारनेशन के बारे में कब पढ़ेंगे. दैट इज ऑल्सो इन वन ब्रह्मांड, not about all the brahmanda. Okay. So then that's why Sukdev Goswami says that Etecham Sakala Pumsam Vishnastu Bhagwan Swayam Indriyari Vyakulam Lokam Lugayante Yuge Yuge. So all of the above mentioned incarnation are either plenary portion, the portion of the plenary portion of the Lord. But Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. So all these incarnations, what we discussed in the previous verses, are the either plenary portion or the portion of the plenary portion of Lord Krishna. Okay. All of them appear on the planet whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheist. The Lord incarnates to protect the theist. Okay. So this verse we have discussed, before at the beginning of the third chapter. So of course tomorrow I will discuss on this verse particularly, considering again I will discuss. So we'll end here today. So that we can give proper time for this particular verse. I don't want to discuss about this verse today because so many things we have to discuss about this verse. Okay, so thank you very much. If you have any question, comment, feedback, you can unmute and ask.